Hi everyone, how are you all? I am Abhiranand Dotto and welcome to my channel. Today I am going to discuss about the nature of management. In my previous video, management concept was discussed. So if you haven't seen that video, please watch that video. I will put the link in the description box. So let's start the class. So nature of management is classified into three parts: management as a science, management as art, and management as a profession. So why management is called as a science, as an art, as a profession? So we will discuss one by one in brief. So first nature of management is management as a science. So what do you mean by science? So science is a systematized body of knowledge related to a specific topic of study which is based on proper findings and exact principles were applied under similar circumstances of business environment. So what do you mean by science? So in science, organized systematic study materials available which is used to achieve the knowledge of science. So it's logically observed findings, facts and events. So and science can establish the cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship established through the science. So generally science, if we talk about science, so science means what? Physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, biotechnology. So these are we known as a science. So what is physics, chemistry? So to do the physics, chemistry, we have to knowledge about that particular subjects. So what do we mean by physics and what do we mean by biology, chemistry? So we have to the systematized knowledge means the systematized study materials study materials is available which is used to achieve the knowledge of science. So this is the case of this is the characteristics, the main characteristics of what? Science. So systematic body of knowledge. Knowledge is very important in science. Without your knowledge, without the basic knowledge about the physics, chemistry, biology, we cannot establish the cause and effect relationship. Means for example H2O means H2O is what? Chemical form of what? Water. So 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen, if we combine, then what? Water will compose. So if you don't know that what is hydrogen, oxygen, then you cannot form a chemical reaction. So that's why knowledge is very much. So let's discuss the characteristics of science. First is systematic body of knowledge. So we have some knowledge about the science, then we practically applied that knowledge into that particular field, means physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. And if we talk about management, regarding management, why it's called a science, management, why management is called a science, then here also systematic body of knowledge is present. Means systematic body of knowledge of management is also a what? Important factor. If you don't know, if you don't have the knowledge about the management, what do you mean by management, what are the functions, what are the key points of management, how to manage the people, you have no knowledge, then you can't manage your organization. So that's why, so these features of science also included in the management. So management can also be a science. Next characteristics of science is what? Principles based on experiments. Yes, the science is based on experiments. So in the laboratory we have to experiment the concept, we experiment the thing, we experiment the facts and figures. So then from that experiments we find some conclusions. So that's why experiment in science is very very important and very essential. So this characteristics is also present in management. So in management also we have to what? Experiments. So how to manage, what are the function or what are the principles of management? We can experiment with the staff, with the people. So that features of science is also present in management. So that's why we can say the management can be seen as a science. Next features of science is a universal validity. Universal validity means what? That universal validity means say H2O, the two hydrogen and one oxygen, if we combine, then water is formed. So this is a universal. Every scientist, every people, if in the laboratory, if you experiment that thing, then you find same thing. You find what? Water, chemical form of water. So it is a what? Universal validity. Or another is what? Newton's law, gravitational force. This is also what? Universal validity, means universally accepted. But these features of science is not present in the management. Why? Management can't be a universal validity, because in some, for example, small business or a large business organization, the management principles can be different. So that's why we can't say the management is also a universal validity. So that feature is not present in the management. Next characteristics of science is what? Replication is possible. Yes, replication is possible means what? It's different scientists is experiment with the same thing. For example, gravitational force, if different scientists that same principle, same concept, if experiment that gravitational force is universally accepted or not, then the two or more than two scientists can conclude that yes, gravitational force is present in the earth. So because of gravitational force, if you throw a ball, then the ball automatically comes down. So this universal validity is applied in all over the world, and the test is successful if this gravitational force concept, if we experiment with different scientists, then all the scientists can same what? Conclusion. All the scientists can get the same conclusion, but these features will not affect in the management. Why? Because the experiment of the manager in different organization on experiment is based on the what? Persons, means people or staff. So maybe because we cannot get the same conclusion. Why? Because human beings are identical. Human beings sentiment, human beings thinking is not same, but in science these principles or these facts can be what? Same conclusion, but human beings are not identical. So we cannot get the same result. So that's why replication is possible. These features of science is not present in the management. So that's why thus management can rightly be called as a science, but management is not a perfect science like astronomy, physics, chemistry or biology. Management falls in the area of social sciences. Ernest Dell has called management as a soft science. So Ernest Dell has called management as a what? Soft science. So I hope you understand why management is called a science, but management is called a science but not a pure science. It is a what? Social science, because all the features are not available in the management. Now next nature of management is what? Management as an art. So what do we mean by art? Art can be defined as a what? Systematic body of knowledge which requires skills, creativity and practice to set perfections. So to be an artist you have some perfection, you have some creativity, then someone is called you are a what? Artist. You may be a musician, you may be a writer, you may be a singer. So you have the knowledge, the basic knowledge about that field, and after getting the knowledge you have to apply it, you have to utilize that knowledge in your creativity, to apply it, your knowledge in a creativity or perfection. So that is called what? Art. So art refers to the way of doing specific things. It indicates how an objective is to be achieved. It is the know-how to accomplish the desired concrete results. So let's discuss the characteristics of art. So first characteristic is what? Existence of theoretical concepts. Yes, theoretical concepts is present in an art. You have some knowledge, you have some basic knowledge of an art. For example, for a music, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. So that seventh sargam you have to know before sing a song. So if you don't know what is the sargam, so you can't sing a perfect song. So that's why you have the knowledge. The theoretical concepts is you have to gather. Yes. So this characteristic is also present in the management. So existence of theoretical concepts. So being a manager, what is the management, what is marketing, what is the concepts of management, what are functions of management, what do you mean by planning, organizing, you have to gather that knowledge, then you apply it on your what? Staff, on your organization, in your organization. So that's why this theoretical concept, existence of theoretical concepts of arts is present in management also. Next, personalized application. So definitely personalized application is very important characteristics of art. You have to some personal characteristics, you have some creativity to apply that art, to apply that field of art. So personal application, this character is also present in what? In a management. Personalized application in management means what? You have the creativity, you have the knowledge, you have the skill. If you gather the knowledge of what do you mean by management and how to manage, how to be a leader in the organization. So if you gather that knowledge, now you have to on your own skill, on your own practice, on your own creativity, you apply it in your organization. So this characteristic is present in Indian management. Next characteristic of art is what? Based on practice and creativity. Yes, practice, you practice, the more you gather the knowledge. Yes, so practice makes man's perfect. We already know that sentence. So that's why practice and creativity. So in an arts, creativity is very essential. Without your creativity, you cannot be called as an artist. You cannot be a good artist. Yes. So these characteristics is also present in a management. So based on practice and creativity is also an important characteristics or important point in management. So practice and creativity also used in the management. So that's why all the characteristics of arts are present in the management. So art is very important in management because in many cases high degree of creativity is necessary in applying the managerial knowledge and skills. The applying behavior modification models at workplace is an art of a manager. So management can also be called as an art. Next, management as a profession. A profession is in what? Occupation for which specialized knowledge and skills and training are required. So let's discuss the characteristics of profession. So well defined body of knowledge means to become a doctor you have what? Degree of MBBS. Without the degree of MBBS then you can't be a doctor. So that's why well defined body of knowledge, you have some knowledge. So for example, lawyer also you have not pass out the law, for example, you have no degree on law, then you can't be an what lawyer. So that's a well defined body of knowledge is very much in profession. So that's why this characteristic also include or present in the management. So well defined body of knowledge means the manager have to have a knowledge about the management. So what do you mean by management? What are the basic concepts, functions, yes, how to be a leader, how to motivate the person, employees. So the manager have some knowledge about that. So that's why this character is also present in the management. Next one, restricted entry. So restricted entry means what? To become a doctor, you have a what? MBBS certificate, or you have passed MBBS. So that's why if the MBBS certificate, you can't be a doctor. So this character is called what? Restricted entry. So this characteristic is not present in management, because to become a manager, you can't measure, you don't want a what specific degree. You may be a commerce background, you may be a science background, or you may be arts background, you can be a what manager. So that's why restricted entry characteristics is not present in a management. Next characteristic of profession is what? Professional association. So there are various associations are there. In a medical area, the Medical Council of India, some associations are there. For lawyers, some Bar Council of India. So these are the associations of some profession, but there is no such associations, or there are some associations are there for management, but for a manager, this is not a compulsory to become a member of that association. So these characteristics of profession is not present in the what management. Next was service motive. Yes, some in the profession also there are service motive. For a doctor, you serve the what in a hospital, patients. Yes, so that's why service, there are also what service. So what are the service motive of teachers? To teach the student, to gather, to provide the knowledge to the students. So these are the service motive of some profession, and this character is also present in the management, service motive. So what are the service? Maybe what to service motive of management is what? To manage in such a way that it serves the customers, or customer satisfaction, to provide the service to the what customer, to the society. So management also includes these characteristics of profession, means service motive. Their main motive is what? Profit, to earning profit. Yes, but second motive is what? To serve the society, to satisfy the customer. So service motive is also present in the management. So thus we can conclude that management is a what? Profession. Although it is not a full-fledged profession, it is this aspect that has raised the status of the manager. So manager can't be a full-fledged profession, but some characteristics of professions are there in the management. So that management can be called as a what? Management as a profession. Now let's discuss what are the different levels of management. So there are mainly 3 levels of management. One is top level management, another is what? Middle level management, and another is what? Lower level management. So first level of management is what? Top level management. So top level management consists of chairman, board of directors, managing director, general manager, president, vice president, chief executive officer, chief financial officer, and chief operating officer, etc. It includes group of crucial persons essential for leading and directing the efforts of other people. The managers working at this level have maximum authority. So top level management is what? In the organizations there are 3 levels. They categorize, the levels are categorized in the 3 parts. So first one is a top level management. So top level means what? The chairman, board of directors, CEO, so president, vice president. So these are the what? Top level managers, or these peoples can be what? Considered as a top level management. So what are the role and what are the functions of top level management? So first one is what? Determining the objectives of the enterprise. Means what are the objectives, what are the aim to be achieved. So these are the objectives set by the top level managers. Next one is what? Framing of plans and policies. So what are the plans, what are the policies, what are the rules, regulations, what are the aims, yes, what are the visions, missions. So all are decided by what? Top level managers. Next, organizing activities to be performed by persons in the middle level management. Yes, top level managers are what? Organize the activities or some direction to the middle level management. Yes, so this role is, these features or these functions or this role is played by the what? Top level managers. Means resources, where the finance resources, where the cash, where the capital will be allocated, and you have to utilize that capital in a systematic manner. So this role is played by top level management. Responsible for welfare and survival of the organization. Yes, very important functions. And liaison with outside world, like meeting government official. Yes, some meeting with government official or meeting with the what? Press. Yes, so these are the functions of top level management. Next one is what? Middle level management. So this level of management consists of departmental heads such as purchase department head, sales department head, finance manager, marketing manager, executive officer, plant superintendent, etc. People of this group are responsible for executing the plans and policies made by top level. So they act as a linking pin between top and lower level management. So what are the top level management? All the heads of the various department, means accounts, in the accounts department. So account head is called what? Middle level management. Sales head, middle level management. Yes, finance head is a middle level management. So middle level management act as a what? Is a linking pin, means what? Between the top and the lower level. So middle level management main functions played with the one lower level and the top level. So that's why it is called what? Middle level management. So what are the functions or role played by the middle level management? Interpretation of policies framed by top to lower management. Yes, so what are the plans or what are the policies to be framed by the top level management? The middle level management functions is to what? To guide the lower level management, lower level staffs or lower level people. So they have to guide those policies to the lower level management. Next, organizing the activities of the department for formulation of plans and policies. Yes, definitely. Next, finding out or recruiting, selecting and appointing the employees of the department. Yes, middle level management also played what? The recruiting and selecting process or appointing. Yes, so recruiting, selecting and appointment process is done by the middle level management. Next, motivating the persons to perform to their best ability and cooperate with other department for smooth functioning. So these are the what? Functions or role played by the middle level management. So cooperate with other departments. So for smooth functioning is very important functions played by the what? Middle level management. And the last one is for lower level management. So this level consists of supervisors, superintendent, foremen, sub department executives, clerk, etc. Managers of this group actually carry on the work or perform the activities according to the plans of top and middle level management. So what are the persons involved in lower level management? The superintendent, supervisors, clerk. So all are the what? lower level management. So what are the functions played by lower level management? Representing the problems or grievances of workers before a middle level management. If any problems arises during working hours, so that problems will be that problems will be represent before the middle level management. Should be consult the middle level management. If any problem arises into the lower level management workers, then the problem will be what? The problem or grievances will be applied to the middle level management. Next, maintaining good working conditions and developing healthy relation between superior and subordinate. Yes, lower level management have to cooperate with superintendent and the top level, means middle level and top level managers. So what are they say? What are they directed? What are the plans and policies they provide to the lower level management? So lower level workers have to abide by the rules and regulations. Next, looking to safety of workers. Next, helping the middle level management in recruiting, selecting and appointing the workers. Yes, so middle level management organized for recruiting, selecting and appointing the workers. So lower level also help middle level management. Next, communicating with workers and welcoming of their suggestions and minimizing the wastage of material. So the work should be done with optimum resources, optimum level of resources. So that should be look out to the lower level managers, lower level people. So means supervisor or superintendent. The laborers are doing efficiently or effectively or efficiently or not. Yes. So these are the functions or role played by the lower level managers or management. So I hope you liked this session, and if you are new to my channel, please subscribe, like and share my channel Obhi's Commerce Gyan. Thank you.